Yo, what is up? What's poppin'? You know it ain't no stopping. It is your boy, the International Sensei. Of course, you gotta keep it right, keep it tight, and above all, please talk to me nice. And welcome to the DOJO podcast. And a lot of stress is coming across the nation. And today I am here to talk about keeping your motivation. One of the biggest things that I've been doing a lot of is like on my rides to, whether that's like stunt training, on my rides to work, or just going like for long rides or like days where I'm just not really feeling it, is listening to like a lot of like motivational poetry, a lot of motivational speakers. And I got like three poems that I listen to or like I think about on a daily basis at this point, or like I'll have it in my room or something. And I think they're just some that have helped me a lot with staying focused and could probably help you guys out with staying focused as well. So I'm going to rattle off a couple of them. I think they're just three, so I'm not going to keep you guys here too long. And I'm just going to like break down honestly what they mean for those that's listening to this and it might be going over your head, or you want to get more context in it for someone who's read them a lot or whatever. So the first one is very short. And funny enough, it's a poem that I've actually used in like speeches before. When I was in high school, I was in a club called Jobs for Georgia Graduates, and during like one of our ceremonies, we got like the kente cloth. What kente cloth is just like an African piece of cloth, like with designs on it and stuff. And I was one of these speakers on there, so I had to get up on stage in front of everybody and give a speech, and I utilized this poem inside of my speech. It was like almost like a graduation speech for my class and stuff like that, and it went over well. But long story short, the poem is called Did by Ann Landers, and it goes, did is a word of achievement, won't is a word of retreat, might is a word of bereavement, and can't is a word of defeat. Ought is a word of duty, and try is a word each hour. Will is a word of beauty. Now can is a word of power. And I mean, it's very simple when you break it down, but when you really look at everything in there, it's something that you really need to think about. Telling yourself that you can't do something. It's always an old phrase. I don't know where the phrase is. Some of my mentors have said it tons of times. Shouts out to Mr. Taylor. I always think about the stuff that he says. He would always tell me, he would say, Mr. Austin, whether you can, whether you think, he would say, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you are right either way. Because if you believe that you can't do something, then you'll never even put forth the quality effort that is necessary in order to know if you could do that thing or not. If you continue to say, well, I can't be a great player, or I can't be a great whatever, I can't be a great artist, so I'm not going to draw. Well, maybe you have a talent for drawing, but you never found it. Or even in myself, like saying I couldn't do something, I couldn't speak in front of people, and now I do commentary. I'm getting paid to do commentary most of the time. I mean, getting into voice over work and stuff like that. Having a podcast where I talk, not in front of people, but I talk to people, the people that listen to me and stuff like that. So again, it got to the point where I had to think that I could do something, and I was right. I was 100% right. I could do it, and I was damn good at it. And I knew I could do it years ago. I just didn't believe that I could do it. Muhammad Ali once said, look, I said I was great even before I knew I was. You need to speak things into existence. And that's what this poem is basically talking about. Whatever words that you associate with yourself are the words that are going to impact your life. Whatever words that you use and say that you're going to continue to use is going to be the results that you get out of things. If you say, you know what, I can't cook, well, you're never going to learn how. You're always going to be ordering freaking takeout. But if you say, you know what, today I'm going to try to learn how to make salmon. You know what? I will give my best effort. You know what? This is great, but I can make it even better. But you know what? Saying I won't cook today because you know what? I can't cook salmon. That's just defeating yourself before the task was even presented to you. Alright, but that was the Did poem by Ann Landers. Very short. I mean, if anyone like wants to like put a poem in their wall, that's like a really short one, so that's a great one to put. I'm like clicking and clacking all over this damn thing, trying to find the other ones. Okay, here we go. This other one is another great one that my mentors use. Again, shout out to Kevin Taylor. I've used it every now and then as well. It's a poem that just puts things in perspective. Like I listened, it was by Les Brown. It was spoken a lot by Les Brown, and I listened to Les Brown a ton in the morning. Just like, I mean, there's just days where like you really are just dragging ass, and it's like, look, I need to get up, I need to get going. I claim I want to do all the shit that I want to do, and I need to go fucking do it. And sometimes you just need those extra words while you're by yourself in your own thoughts in the car. It just helps. It just honestly does help. So don't feel like you're weird for listening to this kind of stuff, because it does help if you are putting forth the effort. Like you can't just listen to this shit and think, oh my god, my life is going to change. No, that's not what they're here for. They're here to say, look, they're here to keep things in perspective. They're like it's like your Gatorade. It's like the Gatorade of knowledge. Like it's like your little thing. You know, you throw that knowledge in your brain. It keeps you going. You know how like most people, they'll have their little like supplement or their Gatorade or their little energy thing that they take every day before they go work out. This is kind of what it is for your mind. You listen to this every day and it keeps you going. You know what? All right, I got to get this done. I got to make sure I get this done. I'm working on I'm working on a costume. I got to make sure that I do the stitching tonight, and make sure that I have that stitched up at least by Thursday, so that way I can get the rest of the pieces done. Blah blah blah. But here we go. This is by Les Brown again. The poem is: if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all you dream and scheme is about it and life seems useless and worthless without it, if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all terror of opposition for it, if you simply go after that thing with all your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, famine, nor gout, sickness and pain of body and brain can keep you away from that thing that you want, if dogged and grim you beseech and beset it, with the help of God, you will get it. And that's probably one of the most, just in its, again, is very small. Like when I do write, I write short stuff. You gotta, like, you really have to understand, if you really want what you say that you want, you need to go for it. Everybody, oh, I want to be a millionaire. Every fucking body wants to be a goddamn millionaire. But what do you, like, after that, what the fuck do you have? You have money. Like, you'll never have enough money. What is that one thing in your life that you always wanted? Price not being an object. Let's just say there was no millionaires. Like, you could not have more than $100,000. Everybody was able to live comfortably under $100,000, your house, whatever, all that shit. But there was never a millionaire in life. No millionaires exist. You had your house, you had your kids, and you had $100,000, or not even. Let's just say no money existed. No money existed. So everybody lives where they live. You have your house, you have your kids, whatever. What is that one job, that one profession, that one thing that is in your life that you know that if you could put everything into it and make a career out of it, what would that be? And you're not getting paid for it. Now take that same thing and understand, okay, now I need to make a living off of this. And you need to apply that exact same energy. Whether that's writing, whether that is singing, or whatever it is. Because I see so many people, including myself, who had a ton of talent. But again, hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. So you can have all the talent in the world and not work for it and never get to where you want to go. I know tons of people. I have tons of friends that rap, that sing, that can write their asses off, and they're too much of a freaking, and I'm gonna curse, but they're too much of a fucking chicken shit to get in the studio, promote their music, to try to go to do shows, to go to perform. Whereas I'm doing open mic my nights now for my poetry. I'm going to different events, doing commentary for tournaments. And honestly, and this is going to be sound bad to say, when you get people that are like that, if you can't, like, if you've tried to motivate them, and they're still doing the same nonsense, you got to get away from those people. And it sounds bad, but I will say you don't need to cut them off completely. You can always text them, how you doing, this and that, but you need to surround yourself with people that are moving towards a certain direction. Because sticking with people that are staying and complacent at the place that they're at, and they have all this talent inside of them, all that's going to do is make you want to waffle and make you want to flounder around and make you not want to succeed, because you see the people that surround you that are so scared of success, that'll rub off on you, and then you'll be scared of success. But with that being said, that is Les Brown. If you want to think bad enough, you got to go out and fight for it. That's poem number 2. And the last one is probably my favorite poem of all time. It's written by Marianne Williamson. It is called Our Deepest Fears. And this is one of the greatest poems that have ever been written. It's been in movies countless times. It's been everywhere. And I just love it simply because it's true. Like, it's the truest statement that could ever be said. People aren't afraid of the fact that they're not good enough at something. They're honestly scared that they're too good. Because being good at something requires a lot of things. It requires haters. It requires people trying to step on your toes. It requires a lot of stuff that most people aren't ready for. Shit, as small as the freaking fighting game community is, and mainstream America could not give two shakes of a rat's ass about it. I've gotten so much hate. Oh my god. Like, I've gotten haters from Twitch chat to people that hopped on streams trying to dog me out. This, that, and the third. Now, imagine if I let those people dictate what I did. I would never be getting paid to do commentary. I would probably never be getting into voice acting. I would probably never be doing a lot of stuff. And I had to get to a point in my life where I said, fuck everybody else. I'm going to get where I want to go and achieve what I need to achieve, or I'm going to fucking die trying. Because I'd rather know that I'd rather give every last ounce of myself in something and knowing that I failed because I just was not good enough than live for the rest of my life knowing that I didn't even give it a shot. Singing my fucking shoulda, coulda, wouldas, coulda, shoulda, woulda, I coulda. Fuck that. I want to know that if I give every single ounce of myself into what that I truly want, I can get it or I can't. And even if I can't get it, I can get it in some capacity. Because you might not be able to be like, it's just like fighting. Like I'll use Daniel Cormier for an example. He just lost this weekend. He gave his all into a fight, but he still ended up losing. But guess what? He didn't fail. And here's why I say he didn't fail. Because he went out there when no one else would. For years and years and years fighting for his family, doing his thing. Okay, he has a couple of losses, but guess what he's gained out of that? He's a UFC commentator now. One of the most world-renowned wrestling coaches. As it builds beautiful relationships with tons of people. He's never going to have to struggle again, but he's also put himself in a place where he's created his own lane. And that's okay. And see, that's success. Whether it's through a championship or whatever, he worked his ass off and was able to find out, you know what, I'm great at fighting, but you know what else I'm doing? I'm great at talking about fighting. I'm great at coaching. And he's found fulfillment in doing those other things as well as fighting. But anyway, going back to this, when I went on my long ass tangent, I know I'm gonna have to put like the whatever, like adult supervision thing on here. But anyway, for the last poem by Marianne Williamson, it is, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. And we ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous. Actually,